take our hook and we're going to wrap it around 3 times. So 3 loops. And now we are going to take a single band and we're going to chain 2. So if you do not know what chain is, we're just sliding a band through the cap band and we're reclaiming. Then we're going to take another band and just reclaim. We'll slide it through and then reclaim. So now you should have a chain of 2, and what we are going to do now is kind of stretch it open a bit and insert your hook into here. And you want to insert your hook into the first chain here. Then you're going to take a single band and slide it through the first chain and reclaim. So you should have 4 loops on your hook. Then you're going to take a single band and slide it through the first 3 loops and reclaim. Then you're going to insert your hook into this capping band and just kind of open it up and attach that to your hook. So now it looks like this. And we are going to take a single band and slide that through all these loops and simply reclaim. So that we have our first ear, and we're just going to kind of fix it up a bit, but just go ahead and attach a C-clip for now, just so that it's secured. And we are now going to make our other ear. So in order to make our other ear, we're just going to repeat those same steps. So take a single band, wrap it around your hook 3 times, so creating 3 loops. We're going to chain 2, so slide it through the cap band and reclaim. So chain 1, then chain 2, and reclaim. So now it looks like this. Go into the first chain, take a single band, and slide it through and reclaim. Take another band, slide it through the first 3 loops, then reclaim that. Then take this cap band here that you see and attach those 3 loops onto your hook. Make sure they're the 3 loops. And now you're going to take a single band and just slide it through all the loops and reclaim. Then take a C-clip or an S-clip and just attach it onto the ears so that they're secured for now. Now we have both of our little ears and we are going to attach it to the head. So here's the little head. And we're now going to take our hook and try and find, so we want to insert our hook, like our ear actually, into the side of these 2 loops. So here's the ear, and if you look on the right side, there's 2 little circles or stitches, as you can see. And we want to insert one of the ears in here in both of these loops. And if we take a look on this side, we want to insert our ear on both of these loops. So right here. Not both of these 2 loops, but both of these 2 loops. Okay, so now what we are going to do, I'm just going to show you how to do that. So we are taking our hook and inserting it to the bottom part of this part right here. So I'll show you. So we're inserting our hook into this circle, but from the inside. So it looks like that. We are going to take one of our ears. So pick which ear you want to start off first. So I'm going to do this ear. And you want to grab the bottom part, bottom single band of the ear. So make sure it's from the bottom direction. So see how this part's pointing up? You want to take the bottom, like single band. And then just slide that through. And make sure you reclaim that. Then you're going to insert your hook into the top portion to where you found the other band. So right here. So the circle on the top of where you've pulled that band through. You're going to take this single band and attach that on your hook and remove the C-clip now. Go ahead and pop that off. And then you're going to slide this ear through the head. And you should see both of the loops are on. So now you can just make a simple slip knot and give that a good tug. And it should be secured so that you have one ear already placed on. Actually, you have 3 ears technically. I don't know if these are ears or not, but I'm just gonna call them ears for now. But this is how it looks like. I think these are his horns. That's what it is. Okay, anyways, now instead of talking about ears or horns, what we are going to do is add the other ear. So we're gonna take a look on the side of this little horn or ear. We're going to insert it into these two loops like we've said. So you want to grab the bottom circle and not the top one. So let's go ahead and grab the bottom circle. So collected that. And we're now going to take the bottom portion of our ear. So figure out which is which. It's always good to kind of stretch the ear out so you know where to look at. Right now mine just looks like a blob. I do not know why. But anyways, we are going to add the next ear. And in order to do that, so what we are going to do is take the bottom portion of the ear and we are going to attach it to our piece. So I am going to pick, let's see, I think I'm going to flip it this way. And I'm going to collect this piece here, so this one, and make sure there's like a tip pointing up so that you know that that's the tip for the ear. And you want to have that pointing to the right. Anyways, you're going to take one side of your cap band, one side of your band from the C-clip, and you're going to slide that through and just simply reclaim. Now you want to go into the next chain from the top, and we're from the top where we grabbed the other band, and we're now going to attach this band on our hook and remove the C-clip. Take this band and just pull it through the head so that you have two loops in the head, and just make a tight slip knot so that we have both of our ears added on. And this is how our dragon should look like. That's how you add the ears, and we pretty much finished with the face details. We are now gonna go ahead and finish off our round with round 7. So we're actually going to finish our round off with round 8 because we already added round number 7. And for round number 8, we are going to be doing a decrease till we have 6 stitches all the way around our piece. So without further ado, let's get started with that round. Round 7, make sure you attach your hook onto the band with the C-clip. And now what we are going to do is take 2 stitches and stitch them together. So go into the first chain and reclaim those on your hook. Go into the next stitch so you have a decrease. Take a single band and slide it through these 4 loops and reclaim. Then do a single chain so that you have your first decrease. Then we're going to repeat that, and I think I might want to stuff this project first before we continue too far enough. So for now, just go ahead and stuff your head. I got some stuffing, and I'm going to add a little at a time. Make sure you do not overstuff your dragon, because he might look a little funny with white polyfill sticking out of his head and just like coming out and stuff. You want to add, make sure you add the right amount. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and stuff this piece. And this is how he should look like. Just kind of adjust it around a bit. So here's how he looks like, but I might want to remove some stuffing. So just kind of, if you pinch your project a bit and just remove the amount of stuffing that you have sticking out, then you should be perfectly fine. And it should be filled to the right amount of stuffing. Now what we are going to do is complete our round of decreases all the way around. So we're going to go into the next stitch, which is stitch 3, and reclaim that. And then go into stitch 4 and reclaim that. Take a single band and slide it through these 4 loops and reclaim and do a single chain. Then you're going to reclaim into our next stitch, which I believe is 5. And then reclaim the other one, and you're going to do a decrease. So slide it through the first 4 loops, reclaim, and just slide that band through. And continue that all the way around till you get to your C-clip. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real fast. So decrease. And just kind of fix your bands a bit. then our almost to our last stitch. So we're second to last stitch. And just slide that band through and slip knot. Actually, not slip knot, single crochet or decrease. And do our last stitch and go ahead and remove your C-clip for now. And what we're going to do after we do this decrease, you want to just slip knot it. So this is the last decrease we have to do, so just slide it through everything and then reclaim and then just make a slip knot. So that we have the head completed, and this is how his head's going to look like for the dragon. And now is your chance to add more stuffing if you like. So kind of open the head up a bit. Just don't outrageously stretch it till the point where it wants to like be floppy and it just won't look cute to put on anymore. So this is how his head's going to look like with his body. And now what we are going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a bit more stuffing. That's what I'm going to do. But for now, make sure you try your best to stuff it as good so then the head's not floppy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. And then once we are done stuffing it, we are going to sew the head onto the body. So I know that's kind of like the challenging part, but don't worry, I think you'll be fine, perfectly fine with it. I'll try to explain my best through. And if you're an expert at Loom Loomigurumi, great, because it'd be a lot easier for you. But if you're a beginner, do not worry. I will try and explain my best throughout this project. So now we have the head completed and the body completed. We are now going to move on to sewing the pieces together. We have 6 stitches here in the body and 6 stitches around in the head. So what we are going to do is pick a stitch where you want to begin to start at. I'm going to start probably in the back of the head where the slip knot is. So I'm just going to kind of pull right here where the slip knot is. And you should see your chain to here. And just insert your hook through here. So see, it's like right connected with the slip knot. Then you're going to take a look at this head and you want to see where this side, this little loop right here in the back, meets with the body. So try and find that loop. So that loop basically connects to, so kind of open up the body a bit. And it kind of connects with this band right here, I'd want to say. So it connects with this band. And we are now going to do a single crochet. So collect that band. And we are going to do a single crochet. And if you watch Looming with Cheryl's videos on how to attach a head to the body, and I'll find a good example for you guys. So kind of like the Ninja Turtle here, at Looming with Cheryl created this. So if you look on the head, we're just sewing it on similar to this little figure. So yeah, and what we are going to do now after we added the head, we are going to start sewing the head around. So now you don't have to worry about the slip knots because we'll hide them later. But we're going to insert to our next stitch. So if we take a look here, insert to your next stitch where you just sewed the head part to. And then you're going to insert your hook towards the head. So I'm going to insert my hook here. And make sure you collect 4 loops at a time. Then take a band and just slide it through these first 4 loops. And reclaim and just do a single chain. Then you're going to insert into your next stitch and move away that slip knot. Then you're going to reclaim your next chain here. And then you're going to do a single chain. Single chain. And slide through the first 4 loops and slide that through. So see, it's kind of creating the effect. And then you're going to insert into the next stitch and attach where the head is at, so find the next stitch in the head. So this is, I believe, is my next stitch. And yeah, I think this one's my stitch. And then you're going to slide a single band through these first 4 loops and single chain. And we're almost done. We got 2 more loops to do. So insert into the next stitch. And I think I probably skipped a stitch. So now I'm going to go into here and do a So I'm going to do my last single crochet right here. And go ahead and slide that through. We're now going to go into our first stitch where we all began the single chains around. So I'm just going to go into this stitch here, right beside the head. And I'm going to slide it through everything on my hook and make a slip knot. So go ahead and do that. And we have the head attached. So this is how his head looks like. It kind of looks like a big balloon. But don't worry, it should be perfectly fine the way you want it. We added the tail. All we have to do now is add the belly and the wings. And then we'll be complete with our dragon. And make sure you hide these slip knots because they can tend to pop out a bit. So just go insert anywhere in the head and hide these slip knots. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And hide these ones. And now, once we've done that, make sure they're actually secured. Like this one isn't for some reason. I think maybe because it's by the body type. I don't know. So now I'm just going to hide that through probably the body portion. So now once we have our head, this is how he should look like. And we're going to get started on making his belly. So pick the color you want to make for his belly. And you want to use like a different color. It's perfectly fine. It's up to you. But for now, I think I am going to use yellow, or I might use a light purple. I don't know, just a really light purple just to make it look nice. So I'm going to go ahead and get some colors out. So I think I might use this for the wings instead of the dark purple. And I might use yellow for the belly. I think I am actually going to use yellow for the belly portion. So to make the belly, what we are going to do is begin with a magic ring of 6 stitches. So I'll show you real quick. And use it for your belly color. I think I'm going to use yellow. And just wrap it around your hook 3 times, which creates 3 loops. We're then going to take a single band and slide it through this capping band and reclaim. And then just take this band here on the left side and slide it through the band on the right side. Go back into this capping band of 3 loops. Take a single band and slide it through the cap band and reclaim. Take the first band and slide it through these 2 loops. So there's 2. Go into the capping band again and take a single band and just slide that through and single crochet. So that's 3. Go into the next stitch, take a single band, slide that through, reclaim. And there's 4. The next stitch, slide that through. So there's 5, and go into our last stitch again, the cap band, and just do our last single crochet, and you should have 6 stitches in the magic ring. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which should be on our hook. We're going to take a C-clip and just attach that on. And now what we are going to do for this next round is a single crochet followed by an increase. So by the end of this round, we should have 9 stitches. So take a single band, slide it through the first chain, and single crochet. Our next stitch, go into there and take a single band. Now we're going to do an increase, so single crochet, go back into that same stitch, and we are going to do another single crochet so that we should have an increase done. Go into our next stitch, take a single band and slide that through and reclaim, single crochet. Next stitch is an increase. So go back to that same stitch and single crochet. Our next stitch is a single crochet. And our last stitch by the C-clip should be an increase. Go back in. And you have an increase. So now this is how the belly should look like for your dragon. And if we just place it on, this is how it should look like. Oops, sorry about that. So this is how it should look like, and we are now going to go into the first stitch and make a slip knot in yellow. And this is the belly piece. And we are going to now sew the belly onto the body portion of our dragon. So I'm going to place it so that it looks like this. And we are now going to get started with attaching it on. So you'll need some purple bands to sew this belly on. And what we are going to do is take our stitch here and just slide it through. Actually, no, we'll just ignore this little slip knot here for now, and go into the first stitch in the body. So see here, you have the slip knot. Look to the left, and you're going to insert your hook into this first stitch, and wherever it meets your hook, so make sure you have your belly on to the body, and you're going to, wherever your hook meets the stitch, you're just going to insert your hook, insert it through the stitch, and then do a single crochet. Or actually do a slip knot. A slip stitch, that's what it is. Then you're going to go into the next stitch in yellow. And you're going to insert wherever your hook is, so wherever your hook meets at. And you're going to want to insert it through the stitch where your hook meets. And you're going to take a single band, slide it through everything on your hook to make a slip stitch. So it looks like that. We're going to insert our hook into our next stitch in the belly and just go into the body portion here. Take a single band and slide it through everything, and slide it through here, and go ahead and create a slip stitch. And now what we are going to do is insert into our next stitch in the belly, go into the portion right here, and slide a single band through everything to make a slip stitch. And we're just going to continue this all the way around till we get to a nice little belly portion for the dragon. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this. Go into here. And I think what would look nicer is if we single chain it around. I don't know, I just feel like the slip stitch isn't working. Because see how. So to begin the wing, you want to pick the darkest color that you want for the top wing portion. So the darkest color I'm going to use for that, I'm actually going to use a light color instead. So I'm going to use this light purple here from the Glow Mix pack of bands. And what I'm going to do, we are going to chain 9. So take this band and wrap it around your hook 3 times to make a cap band of 3. And we are going to chain 9 bands onto this cap band. So take a band and just slide it through those 3 loops and reclaim. Then we're going to take another band and slide it through these 2 loops and reclaim. So that's 2. Another band, slide it through these 2 loops, reclaim. So that is 3. Go and slide a single band through and reclaim. So that's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, and our last band should be 9. So we just chained 9 rubber bands so that it looks like this. And what we are going to do now, we are going to do 4 single crochets. So go into this stitch here. So here's this stitch and this stitch. We want to go into this stitch. So go ahead and open it up and slide your hook through there. Take a single band, slide it through the first 2 loops and reclaim. Then we're just going to take this first band and slide it through these 3 bands so that it looks like that. So there's our first single crochet. Go into our next stitch or chain, and then we're going to take a single band, slide it through, reclaim, take this first band and slide it through those 2 loops. So there's 2. Go into our next chain, take a single band, slide it through, and single crochet. So there's 3 single crochet we just did. Go into our next stitch and do our last single crochet. So we just completed 4 single crochets, and what we are going to do is skip this chain right here, and don't skip this chain because it's this stitch connected to it. So skip this one right beside it, and you want to go into our next stitch. So see, I just skipped it, and now I'm going to a new stitch, and now we're going to do 3 single crochet. So here's 1, go into our next chain, here's 2, go into our last chain right here and slide a band through and do a single crochet. So now it looks like this, and it's starting to curve at an angle, kind of like a triangle or like an arrow. And now what we are going to do is insert our hook into that same stitch where we began. Go into here, take a single band and just slide it through everything and reclaim. So this is going to be chain 1, and we're going to flip our piece around on our hook. And now for this next round, what we are going to do is do 3 single crochet and skip a stitch and then 3 single crochet. So go into the first stitch, but the way you want to insert your hook is go from the back portion. Actually, yeah, the back portion. So these 2 loops, and you're going to switch colors, and we're going to slide it through everything, these 4 loops, and reclaim and make a slip knot. So there's 1 single crochet, go from the back and do another single crochet. So slide that through. So there's 2 single crochet. Our next chain, go from the back and slide this band through. So you just did 3 single crochet, and we're going to skip this next stitch and move on to our now new stitch. So skip this one and go to this one and do our 3 single crochets. So here's 1, next chain, here's 2, and our next chain, here's 3. So this is how our wings should look like. And now what we are going to do is do a double crochet. So we're actually going to take this piece and flip it around on our hook so that it looks like this. We're going to do a double crochet in this round,